Hello to all of you at TEDxManhattan. I know you're here to see Deb, but before you get started, Deb, we've got some unsettled business. You've been helping get the GIMMEFIVE challenge off the ground in celebration of the 5th anniversary of Let's Move, but you haven't answered the challenge yourself. Well, now it's your turn. Give me 5 push-ups, and then be sure to pass it on. Good luck.
No pressure, right? So it's the 5th anniversary of Let's Move, and the theme is Celebrate, Challenge, Champion. We're celebrating how far we've come, we're challenging ourselves to do more, and we're committing to be true champions of this issue far into the future. And on top of that, we're doing this online campaign called GIMMEFIVE. How many of you have heard of it? GIMMEFIVE? Yeah! So the whole idea is that we're gonna give 5 ideas for a healthier America. So, Ryan Seacrest did 5 burpees, Beyonce did her 5 workout routines. I hear the president's gonna do it, but now, as you've seen, I've been called out. So will you guys give me a little bit of support? Will you count out my 5? All right, we're doing this. I got to be able to show my arms next to the First Lady, so that's a good practice for me. I just gave you my 5 for a healthier me, but I want to take this opportunity to share my 5 ideas for a healthier America. But before I do that, I'd like to get a little personal, if you don't mind. I now work in the People's House, so I feel like you may want to know a little bit more about me. 10 years ago, I was broke, jobless, and grasping for straws. My husband had been suddenly diagnosed with a lifelong debilitating illness. It was February 6th, 2004. My husband Jeff and I were tightening the cinches in our 80-pound bags. We were getting ready for our 27-month assignment to Ecuador as Peace Corps volunteers. We were so excited. This was the next brilliant chapter in our lives together. You see, go 10 more years back, and we're high school sweethearts. Oh, thanks. Actually, get this, he first asked me out in the school cafeteria, so I was very appreciative of him. But if you guys are familiar with Friday Night Lights and with Hoosiers, if you smash that together, that's our story. So I grew up in a rural town of New Knoxville, Ohio, population 880, so half of my hometown would fit into this room. And I was raised on a dairy farm, youngest of 7, spent my summers baling hay, sewing up a storm for 4-H, and Jeff was the neighbor boy, grew up on a hog and grain operation. He was the all-star athlete with this incredible intellectual curiosity. So go back to February 2004, and Jeff is in the basement, and he's lifting weights. He's getting ready for a trip. But instead, he crawls his way back up the steps. He's tired. He feels really sick. Something is really, really wrong. So instead of driving to our going away party that afternoon, we end up driving to the doctor's office. He steps on the scale, and he's lost 16 pounds in 2 weeks. We knew something had been wrong. He had this quenchless thirst, but it just didn't seem that dramatic. And then the final blow, they took his blood sugar, and it was 286. For all of you in this room, your blood sugar is between 80 and 120, or it should be. And so Jeff was diagnosed at 25 years old with type 1 diabetes. So this was our new journey. Instead of to the beautiful land of Ecuador, we were going to the perilous land of the dying pancreas, to the land of insulin and needles, medication, endless doctor's visits, to the land of being told that my husband, the love of my life, was going to face amputations, blindness, kidney failure, possibly 15 years shorter on his life. It was crushing. This is the land where 79 million Americans are destined as pre-diabetics. So there we were. We were jobless because we had just quit our jobs to go to the Peace Corps, so we had no health care. We were newlyweds, fresh out of college, so we had no savings. And then this. And all I wanted was for Jeff to be healthy. It's truly all I wanted. So I just started to calculate every morsel that he put in his mouth. I was calculating every gram of the carbohydrates to make sure that what his dying pancreas could handle. I was doing everything I could. But the thing that I really wanted, I couldn't do. And that was to reverse his diagnosis. But then I had this aha moment. It's like, Jeff was a type 1 diabetic. He didn't have a choice in this disease. But for 1/3 of our society that are destined to have type 2 diabetes, that is a choice. That is preventable. That is a diet-related disease that we can stop. There are people who don't have to have their dreams crushed because we can change something. You know what that something is? It's changing the way we eat. And so that's what I did. I made my career into making sure no one else would be in that position, would be in that doctor's office that we found ourselves in. So I started a farm, fruit and vegetable farm in my hometown, Good Harvest Sun Farm with my husband, feeding 100 families a week, delicious, fresh, local food. Co-founded FoodCorps with some of my best friends. It's my baby. It's a national nonprofit organization that's serving over 500 schools in 17 states to make sure all kids grow up healthy. And now I'm at the White House, for goodness sakes. And it's this incredible opportunity to serve with the individual, the leader, the woman who is changing the conversation, who is literally bending the curve on childhood obesity and is creating a new norm. So I will proudly accept the First Lady's Challenge and give you my 5 ideas for a healthier America. You ready? All right. I need some passion from the crowd. There we go. Thank you. So first is the purse. We need to consider our nation's fiscal health. By 2018, we'll be spending over $350 billion a year on treating diet-related diseases. By 2030, that will be $500 billion. That's more than our entire federal deficit, people. So when people tell us that we can't afford to feed our children healthy food, that it's too expensive, we can't afford not to. So let's just lay that argument to rest, shall we? Because we need to feed our children well. This is a small investment that will save us hundreds of billions of dollars in the end. Second one is that our children's health is not and should not be a partisan issue. There is nothing Democrat and there is nothing Republican about making sure that our healthy school lunches match scientific recommendations. That is not a partisan issue. Thank you. We have to work across individual political and cultural differences if we're going to make a long-term difference in this work. And I'm truly, if we're going to change the way we eat, we have to change the way we treat each other. The third is partnerships. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm a deep proponent of public-private partnerships. But partnerships that reflect comprehensive strategies based in common sense solutions are what we need more of. There's no such thing as one simple solution. There's not one corporation, there's not one nonprofit, there's not one government agency, there's not one policy, there's not one widget that is going to solve for X. And we have to stop pretending that there is. We have to form these comprehensive partnerships, which is why it is such a dream to work with the Let's Move initiative, because that's what they've done. Let's Move has made all these creative partnerships. In just the last 5 years, hold on to your hats for this, over 1.6 million kids now have access to healthier daycare because of Let's Move. There's over 2 million kids that have access to salad bars through Let's Move salad bars to schools. There's over 9 million kids that are in a Let's Move active school with over 60 minutes of physical activity. There's more than 30 million kids that are having healthier school lunches because of the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act. And there's over 70 million people that are in a Let's Move city, town, or county. These are real numbers, people, and I don't have time to go into the Partnership for Healthier America and the 150 corporate partners that have been built in the last 5 years. That is the power of partnerships. It's amazing. The fourth is promotion. One of my degrees is in marketing, and I am a strong proponent, and everyone should know this, marketing works. Celebrity-laden ads, billboards, you name it, they work. I don't know if you're aware, but over 5,500 TV ads are seen by the average child per year for unhealthy food compared to 100 ads for healthy food. So why don't we get in the game? Why don't we add a healthy dose of advertising? So that's what we're going to do. With the Partnership for a Healthy America, fruits and vegetables will soon have one big, iconic brand called FNV. So just be prepared to be marketed to. Fruits and vegetables, be ready for it. It's called Team FNV. There might be t-shirts and hats as well. The fifth one is one that you might all think is soft and doesn't need to be mentioned. But it's bring the persistent passion. All of you have the passion in the room. TEDxers know this. But it can't be underestimated that what progress can be made through passion. For the farmer that takes the time to give the kids the farm field trip. For the food service director who heroically takes the extra effort to cut up the butternut squash for the Harvest of the Month program. For the parent who patiently takes the time to have their child try that new vegetable for the 13th time. For the nonprofit that continually goes back to more foundations. To the politician who stands up for what they believe in. Passion truly makes a difference. And that actually gets to what the GIMMEFIVE is all about. It's about channeling our passions and our new ideas for how we can continue to create a healthier America. The First Lady is not going to stop working on this issue at the end of this term. She's in this for the long haul. We need your ideas. We need your passion. And so that today, I'm going to extend the GIMMEFIVE challenge to all of you. And I guarantee you, the First Lady and I will be watching. Thank you.